Hey everybody, welcome back to our video series where we take the Word Wielders, the characters of the unseen, and we're going to break them down for you and show you each one of their gifts and abilities as they progress through the game. We're also going to dive a little bit into their personal weapons and some other unseen rules that you might not have noticed. So I hope these videos are going to be helpful for you guys. Stay tuned. Here's the next one. Okay everyone, today we are going to go over Sparrow the Creature Speaker. He is a seeker, which means he's going to get a +1 light boost to any weapon that has this icon in the upper right hand corner, which is ranged weapons. His starting weapon is a longbow. It gets a distance of 0 to 2. And the blessing on this weapon is this weapon uses the gift Guided Strike. So we'll take our quick guide here and we'll look up Guided Strike. Now remember, you can look up gifts inside of the actual battle guide, but this is going to be laid off to the side for a quick reference. All right, Guided Strike. You gain a +1 distance when targeting with a ranged weapon. Also, you ignore targeting order, allowing you to choose any darkness and a targeted stack within your distance, even if you are bound. Place the chosen target on the top before you make your combat roll. So keep in mind, for the sake of this video, we're going to be using painted miniatures. This is actually what the miniatures will look like when you get them inside of the box. Highly detailed and ready to paint, but for the sake of this video, we're going to use painted minis because they're easier to see. So Guided Strike. Sparrow has a +1 distance when using ranged weapons. Now, since he has a longbow on it, has a distance of 0 to 2 already, he can go up to 3. So he's in this zone here, that's 0, 1, 2, 3. He can actually target all the way down here, and he can choose the target he wants to go after in the stack he is targeting. So Sparrow wants to take a shot all the way from there to here to help out Arya. He's going to pick up the deck and go through and find the target he wants to hit. I'm going to go after Sickness because if I miss, they won't be able to hit me because they don't have the distance. He rolls to attack. He got a 7. He missed, but he doesn't have to block the strike back because they don't have the distance. He's going to take another action and roll again. He got a 3. One more time. This is his last action. And he got a 20. That time he hit the target. They come off the board and they go into his LP. Now keep in mind, this can be done even if he is bound. Notice there is a monarch in his zone. So typically he would be bound, meaning he wouldn't be able to move or target outside of his zone. But with Guided Strike, he's allowed to do that. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so you and your team have taken down the blue stronghold and you have earned your blue refinement level. Sparrow gains Bladed Wings. Once per turn, you may spend an action to do one of two things. 1. Target a monarch who is shrouded in darkness with a ranged weapon. Or 2. Target webs on another wielder using a ranged weapon. You are not webbed on a miss. So let's go over part 1. Target a monarch who is shrouded in darkness with a ranged weapon. So now Sparrow is right here. Now since he has Guided Strike on his starting weapon, he can target outside of his zone even if he's bound. Now when you target a monarch, they are shrouded in darkness if there are any enemies in their zone. So normally all of these cards would have to be taken out before you could actually take a hit on the monarch. But since he has Bladed Wings, he can go ahead and spend an action and take that shot. He goes after the queen. He got a 17. She would have been successfully hit and the damage would be applied accordingly. Part 2, you can target webs on another wielder using a ranged weapon. You are not webbed on a miss. So let's just say Kyle spent his last action to go after this guilt over here. He missed and his guard failed, so he got webbed and burdened. Now Sparrow can target the webs from a distance and shoot the webs off. Typically you can't get webs off unless you pray for deliverance or have them cut off by another wielder using a bladed weapon. So Sparrow targets the webs. He only needs a 12 to be successful. He got an 18. The webs come off, no problem. Now if another wielder tries to cut the webs off using a blade and they miss, the webs will also attach onto them. So with Sparrow, shooting them from afar, he doesn't have that chance of being afflicted. Okay, you and your team have defeated the Prince of Doubt and have gained your yellow refinement level. Sparrow gains the gift Treasures in Heaven. Draw 1 extra discernment card for each card earned. At any time during the game, you gain a discernment card, which is the weapons of the game, and armor and other types of items. You will get to draw 2 cards. And look at that, I got 2 ranged weapons. Now, just a note, you can carry as many weapons as you like in your armory during the game. So you can build a huge arsenal. So I'm gonna take those 2 cards, put them on top right now, but I'm actually gonna look in there and see if Sparrow has any armor and put that on while I'm at it. You and your team have defeated the Queen of Guilt and you have gained your red refinement level. Sparrow gains the gift Heaven's Strength Ranged. If you miss when making a combat roll with a ranged weapon, you have a -1 strike boost. Also, if you have no burdens, you have a +1 light boost. So let me just go over that for you. So as long as you're using this weapon, if you go to attack an enemy and they go to strike back, there is a -1 strike boost on that enemy because you used a ranged weapon. So a 4 becomes a 3 and so on. Also, if he has no burdens, which he doesn't, he's going to get another +1 light boost. So whenever he's using a ranged weapon, he'll have a +1, +2, making it a little bit easier for him to hit. This is a great gift to have, especially later on in the game when things get a little bit tougher. Alright, so you and your team of wielders have defeated the Counselor of Fair, and you have all earned your green refinement level, the Shield of Faith. Sparrow gains the gift, Leap of Faith. This is one of my favorites. If you are hit by a spawn strike or an auto strike, either phase, rather than guarding, you may move one zone, ignoring bound. Direction is player's choice, and make a combat roll with a ranged weapon against the darkness striking you, even if it's fear. If you miss, you are hit, unavoidable. Auto/spawn strikes in the new zone will happen after combat is resolved. Okay, something really cool to note about this particular gift is that you can use this during the Chosen phase and the Darkness phase, but there's a little bit of a chance you will get hit, unavoidable, if you miss the strike. Let's just say Sparrow's way down here, and he wants to get out of the Dark Zone before Darkness phase. If he moves into this zone, he's going to get auto-struck by this horde that's in here. So he's going to do it. He takes one action, he moves in there. This enemy automatically strikes. Instead of blocking, he can jump one more zone and make a combat roll instead. If he's successful, he's going to automatically hit this enemy. He got a 9, 10, 11, 12, because he has 3 light boosts right now. He hits the enemy. Now, once combat is resolved, this guy's also going to auto-strike. So he just gets to keep going. He can jump into here. He takes a strike back at the Guilt. He got an 11 with his light boost. He hits again. Now, he moved into the pit, so this pit is going to spawn strike him. A Hatred comes out. Sparrow again uses Leap of Faith and strikes back into the zone. He got a 2 that time. So what happens is this enemy automatically leaps into the zone, because that's what Hatred does, and attacks him twice. Unavoidable. So if you do miss using Leap of Faith, you automatically take the hit. But it is also a way for you to take out some enemies and move across the board very swiftly if you're lucky or skilled enough to get your hits. And that is Leap of Faith. Now, because of the last strike that he took from Hatred, he has 2 burdens. But you and your team have defeated the Duke of Sickness, and you've gained your next refinement level, which will heal him of this burden while revealing it. And he gains the gift Holy Hands Ranged. All ranged weapons/quivers in your armory can be equipped without spending an action. Trading still costs an action. You cannot use this gift during combat or Darkness phase. You cannot use this if you are swapping one weapon type for another. So Sparrow doesn't have to use his actions to access his armory or pray for guidance to get a discernment card. He can just, at any moment, as long as he's not in combat, he can go through his deck and equip and unequip and swap as much as he likes, as long as it's a quiver or a bow. So he's going to equip this quiver here, which is the Shepherd's Bag. Now, quivers ride underneath the armor, so you'll take your armor and place it just like that, so that way you can see that you have quivers on, you can see the rule for that quiver, and you can also see the blessing that is on your armor. If he does not have armor, it just rests in there just like that. You can only carry one quiver at a time. You can also go through and swap out and equip any other weapons. So he's going to take the Messenger, which is on a light of 19, place a Warrior Angel in the targeted zone. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to put that actually in this hand here. Now, when I'm in combat, I can either choose to use this longbow or this longbow. Cool thing about this one is it gives me another +1 light boost. Also remember, with this gift, you cannot swap it out for any other type of weapon. So if I wanted to put a blade there instead of a bow, I couldn't do that. I would have to spend an action to access your armory. You can only swap out weapons that have the ranged symbol in the upper right hand corner, or quivers, which have this symbol here. And that is Holy Hands. So you and your team have defeated the King of Suffering, and you gain your black refinement level. Now, Sparrow's still burdened here, but he gets healed of that burden because his gift is revealed. Spend 2 actions to target a darkness card with a ranged weapon. Roll a white 6-sided die with your light die. If your hit succeeds, you may remove your target and any additional darkness of the same type, SP any, from the board equal to the white 6-sided die result, ignoring targeting order. So with Arrows from Heaven, he's going to spend 2 actions, and he's going to target this zone right here, and he's going to try to hit Hatred. So when he makes his combat roll, he's going to roll this white d6 with his combat. Now he got a 17, which definitely hits that enemy, and he gets 2 hatred anywhere from the board. Let me just give you a better example. If he had rolled a 6, he can take up to 6 hatred from the board anywhere. So he can go through the whole thing and find all the hatred. There's 1, 2, 3, SP any. He's going to take all of those. And you can go take this guy off, and then he can find 2 more somewhere. It doesn't matter where they come from. You get to choose. And then there's 1 way down here on the other side of the board. Now he just took out 6 enemies with 1 shot using Arrows from Heaven, and he gains all that LP. That is Arrows from Heaven. Now, just a reminder, guys, if at any time during the game you are guarding and you roll a 10 and the enemy's strike is a 6, that means you got perfect faith. An explosion of light bursts from your body and destroys all the darkness in the zone, and you gain this ability. Now, the other way to earn this is to defeat the Lord of Hatred as you're going into the end of the game to battle the beast. Sparrow gains Emmanuel ranged. If targeting with a ranged weapon, for every darkness hit, remove an additional darkness of any other type within the same zone, SP any. You cannot remove 2 of the same darkness type. You may choose to remove fear as long as the first darkness slain was not fear. So the standard rule for fear in the Unseen is that you cannot hit them with any other type of weapon other than melee weapons, unless you have a skill or an ability that says otherwise. With Emmanuel, Sparrow can target a stack of darkness. He rolls to attack. He got a 17. He hit that suffering. Now he can take any other type. Now he doesn't have a way to hit fear, so he's going to take fear now, so that way he doesn't have to deal with them later. So every time you take out an enemy, you can take out another enemy type from that stack. Now, since we're here, just a little reminder rule. If at any time during the game you don't want to deal with the enemy that is the active card in that stack, you can pray to reveal. So if I get a 5 or better, which I got a 6, you can rearrange that stack any way you like. For Sparrow, he can't hit fear right now, so he's going to put them at the bottom of the deck, and he's going to go after hatred because he's not a fan. That's still a horde. Now he can take the shot for the enemy on top. And those are the gifts and blessings for Sparrow the Creature Speaker. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Keep in mind that we're going to be doing more of these videos, 1 for every character, so that's 9 videos. I'm going to try to put 1 up a week. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Check us out on theunseenGame.com. And remember, the game is available now. And we're going to be doing some other videos on how to play PvP and some other things. If you like this video, if it was helpful for you, please like, subscribe, post, share. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.